Game on, everybody! Wind and Rain against Divine Vendetta, more Division S action, and we actually have in our first game on Battlefield of Eternity between the two teams. We have two of the female characters of Heroes of the Storm on the left side, Liming and Anduin, both played by Wind and Rain here. So back Khaldor Tyrael for the first time ever, we're seeing in Division S at least, Khaldor on Anduin, Mak on Liming, Skok on Genji, and Max Passion on Thrall. And over on the right side of the map for Divine Vendetta, Death Knight on Nuburak. We're having Smaragd on Jaina, Martin on Ana, Slick playing Hanzo, and Born on Arthas. So Anduin, in this case, played for the first time in Division S. We've obviously already seen the character in some of the amateur games. But as you can see right here, same talent still. So still the bold strategy. As I said in previous matches, oftentimes cooldown reduction is really the way to go when you're looking at the build for a character. But in this case, it's a little bit of a different setup. Gain the additional talent level in here with a bold strategy. Personally, I'm still in favor of Blizzard finally releasing a skin that does not discriminate against people without hair and call the talent bold strategy. I think a lot of people, myself included, would get out their wallets so quickly. My wallet is ready, Blizzard. You have my number. So, that said, we're currently having a one-on-one on the top lane with a Thrall, and we are also having Arthas on that side. I gotta admit, when I see the composition of Divine Vendetta, everything inside of me screams, "Where's Jimmy? Jimmy! You were the chosen one. So much slow, so much to trigger that level 1 talent." But then again, I don't know if he maybe was banned out, because as you probably already guessed, this is one of the 2 series that I actually missed while I was still traveling in Germany to visit friends and family. So I couldn't cast it live, therefore a little bit of a fan service for everybody on YouTube that's still interested in checking out those Division S games. And while we're at it, guys, if you enjoy the Division S content on YouTube and you're watching it right there, make sure that you hit that like button, and a subscription on the channel is always appreciated. Either way, we're having on level 1 in this case, actually the Beetle start for Death Knight. Liming is on the other side, and there was actually a comment on the channel just recently that asked again about the interaction with Liming and Nuburak, because I always point out that Liming is used as kind of a counter against Nuburak. The reason for that is actually pretty simple. The whole idea is that your disintegrate burns down the cocoon very, very quickly, so you trade a very low cooldown against a cooldown that is more than twice the length, so you always trade up when you burn the cocoon down, and it basically negates Nuburak's ult. The Nuburak has a chance to also cocoon Liming, of course, to kind of dodge that particular dynamic. But then again, a good Liming player is going to wait for that and will try to also teleport and therefore dodge the cocoon itself, which then of course is an even bigger win for Liming. Obviously the Beetles are going to soak a couple of the shots up, but let's face it, a Nuburak is usually not your main target as a Liming player. You're trying to get a good flank against the squishes in the backline. But the Beetles can also not soak everything. Anduin getting the kill here. Ooh, he's actually manning up a little bit. Okay, baby, calm down. Not only does the Nuburak go down, at the same time having the reset, and therefore the kills were against Ana and against Jaina, and that turned quickly. Losing one of them is one thing, all of a sudden having 3 dying on the floor, that's a different story. Anduin by now on level 4, going into the inner fire. So yeah, a little bit more aggressive on him. Okay, haven't really seen that particular setup just yet in the amateur scene. Again, always talking a little bit about the Division 1 and other amateur leagues that we have within Heroes launch. But a bit more of the aggressive setup here for Khaldor. When it comes to talents, Thrall has chosen to go into Egg of Elements. Now again, you can't really rip him for that. He is the solo laner, so there's no chance for him to join the 4-man at the beginning and go into Trash Lightning. Having also that Immortal burned down super quickly. I mean, Wind and Rain got the 3 kills at the perfect moment in time, and they have also a fantastic setup here for this. And it's starting to become a bit dicey early on already for Divine Vendetta. I mean, those deaths came at a very, very unfortunate moment, and now they have to face the music, aka the Immortal topside. Thrall completes his quest talent. Have also bit more of an aggressive setup from Death Knight here as he's heading into the Underking. Probably going to follow it up with the Subterranean Shield on Noob. And they're trying to go for a bit of a kill here. Nice setup. Anduin with a save. That is one of those things that I gotta admit is kind of nice at the hero. Anduin, by the way, he is, as we already expected when the hero was announced, a little bit of a coward. He stays in the back. I mean, the guy carries a sword around. The only thing that he does is, like, he throws shit. So he's a little bit of a coward, but we all knew that going in. You compare that to a true war chief like Thrall, for example, who is hammer in the hand, ready for action, all the way up at the front line. You know, risks his life. Anduin, on the other hand, he's staying in the back. And yeah, just uses that. I mean, I think he looks the sword. I think he personally thinks the sword looks cool, so that was why he has it. But I don't really think that he knows what to do with it. So yeah, it's probably better that way. I'm a little bit afraid that he would cut himself, and yeah, we can't have that. The crybaby sits down in the middle of the battle and then just sits there and is like, I'm bleeding. Nobody really wants that, friend or foe included. But yeah, with that little bit of lore that you might not have known. I mean, again, they are trying to keep that a secret. But yeah, with that little bit of a nugget, also explained, we're still having that entire level lead nearly for Wind and Rain here. So, yep, at this point, the binding heal taken for Anduin on the level 7. And yeah, when it comes to level 7 talents, I mean, you look over to Arthur's and you went again into the Icebound Fortitude. We've been going over a few of the Arthur's builds lately, with especially some of the teams starting to focus much more into Arthur's trade talent and trying to go for the aggression through his mana management on level 1 and the stacking damage that you get there. With mixed results, to be honest, but again, if you're going up against Burst, then usually it's Icebound Fortitude that they're really interested in, simply because you can keep yourself alive long enough to get good value out of your heroic ability afterwards then as well. So at this point, we're having once again down at the bottom of the map the little interaction between Max Passion and Born. The team in blue is starting to slowly creep themselves forward to level 10, and once they reach that, they're obviously going to be in a great spot to win the next Immortal. It's also a question now if Divine Vendetta can be aggressive enough. And actually, they might be able to get that setup. 1 stun, 2 stuns, there's the third, and Thrall is dead. Yep, Thrall down was a really good setup here. Nice communicated as well, but Anna falls, and that was a nice catch here. Khaldor on Anduin, saving Makke. Li Ning went in. And now they're having to play for Backhold. No heroics. Oh, but the heals are there. And another double kill for Wind and Rain, as they are absolutely murdering right now. And again, it comes at the worst point possible for Divine Vendetta. The Immortal is already on the map. Level 10 is in the hands of Wind and Rain now too. They have a camp pushing through the bottom of the map. So that's just spelling problems for Divine Vendetta on all fronts here. Anduin in this case goes for the light bomb. And, well, outside of that, the Disintegrate, we have also Sanctification, we have no Earthquake, Sundering is being used on the side of Thrall. Going to try and get these flanks in against heroes like Anna and Jaina. And I mean, their flanks have been deadly already, but once that you have a good Sundering coming in and pushing everybody into the hands of the rest of the team, you know that's pretty much lights out right there. So now with the level 10 abilities and 6 kills against 1, we have another Immortal taken, and that bad boy is going to make his way down to the bottom of the map, where we're currently seeing Divine Vendetta grabbing their level 10 ability. That gives us the arrow, that gives us the Army of the Dead. And, well, we are having also Nano Boost, okay. Give me the ring, baby. Are we going to get the ring? Is it the Water Elemental? It's Wally. The Water Elemental in play, and a Nubarak, likely with a Cocoon here, despite the fact that we have Liming on the other side. Still a superior talent in most cases. Oh no! Look at that! Locust Swarm! Alright. Haven't seen that in a hot minute. Yeah, in comes the light bomb. Also the aggression. X-Strike moving through too. Yeah, they push the opponent back. Now again, in this case, you're not necessarily interested in getting the kill, but it's already a big win if you can push your opponent away from the fort itself, so they are not able to defend it at all. So with that said, now having again the move right into the bottom of the map, into the keep itself. There comes the arrow. Soaked up by Thrall. Liming was, I think, more so the target. Thrall still alive. Backhold goes down. No sanctification on his part. And that's the kill against Thrall. Nicely done. Divine Vendetta. And they're not rolling over and just dying here. So in this case, we're actually having maybe a chance for a comeback. I mean, we'll find out. Immortal is finally defeated, but obviously still... I mean, you look at experience, it's honestly not that big of a difference. Level 12 versus level 11, again, with Blizzard's XP changes that we had, when was that? Half a year ago? A little bit longer? We're having now a setup in which we're actually seeing those forts and structures when they are destroyed giving more value over time through the passive experience, but the immediate benefit is not that insane anymore. So minion experience actually matters a lot in these cases. And on minion experience, we're having a lead for Divine Vendetta. There's obviously a bit of a gap in heroes experience, but thanks to those 2 kills that we just saw, we're having the underdog bonus kicking in. This is always one of the things where I'm not quite sure what I really think about it. I feel like considering that one team has twice the amount of kills than the other, only having a hero experience difference of 700 seems a little bit ridiculous to me. But then again, if you tweak the numbers too hard, it's maybe too snowbally, but still, that always feels a little bit weird. That underdog bonus is pretty strong. It's incredibly powerful. I like the fact, though, that we have more minion experience for Divine Vendetta. It really shows that they've been very diligent about soaking the lanes, especially when they started to fall behind. But they are still down a talent, and they have to be careful with that. The top fort is now being attacked and taken down. Arthurs is sitting at the bot lane, getting some XP for his own team before moving out here. Probably should be better if he just Hearthstone somewhere. Okay, they're not going to make the full commitment. But you could see Thrall on the minimap move together with some of the other heroes to try and interrupt him here. And I honestly think if they just would have moved down, they could have probably gotten him. Then again, we have full vision, they don't, so obviously an advantage was. Speed of the Pyres, now taken to the extra movement speed. Had already quite a bit, so yep, Anduin spill continuing. And again, if you just tuned in, here's a quick recap for him. The Bolt strategy on level 1, the Inner Fire on level 4, Binding Heal on level 7, the Light Bomb on 10, and Speed of the Pyres on level 13. First time that we're having Anduin in Division S. At least when it comes to the European scene, so yeah. Immortal then again. The objective is not looking pretty for Divine Vendetta. They lost the halftime show already. Came of course also at the hands of them not having level 13 talents. But now we have the push straight into that again. Top lane, by the way. That's a Shaman camp that's pushing in, so at some point someone will have to make a rotation, and it looks like Thrall is already thinking about that. But the fight about to start. Here comes the arrow, soaked by Tyrael, but Anduin is down. Alright, Anduin is dead. And we're having an immediate attack here against Thrall, but Jaina is also falling. Maybe Li Ming with the resets can turn things around here, but it doesn't look likely. Since we have the explosion on Tyrael, he's dead, that's 3 down, and Skog barely able to survive, or is he? They're trying to at least win the objective, and indeed they do. Marker with a quick disintegrate is delivering the final blow here. Skog and Marker, the 2 survivors, but obviously the Immortal now moving towards the top, and as we can see down here, keeps us starting to get damaged. Nuburok is already on it. He's taking care of the catapult here, but still, that's roughly 30% HP gone. Everybody else starting to come back to life, and so they are moving through the top now in an attempt to take the top keep. I mean, that has to be the goal right now. You have the heroes slowly on the way. Shields on the Immortal are pretty badass, so that's decent as well. So they're starting to make the move in right there. But yeah, now at the top side, defense is started. Shield gets burned down. Tyrael isn't here yet, but he's on the way. Will be here soon. The move back. Damage output. Li Ming currently rocking the charts here with 26,000. Shortly followed by Genji. It's still Hanzo with the poke that has the most. They're saving the key for now. They're doing well. But if they're losing a hero or two now, that could be the end. Light bomb again. This time actually on Genji. And that's a kill against Ana. Nicely done. The keep definitely gonna fall, but can't. Oh, good save. Galnagulna here with a nice save on Skog. The arrow comes. Oh, so much for the save. The arrow, full bullseye. And that's 2 heroes down, and the keep is actually still in play. They couldn't take the keep down. They lose 2 heroes in the process, and they might even lose more. Marker jumps away. Slake, Max Passion, dodging the damage. Ooh, turning it around. Oh, that's cheating. Smaragd not respecting the 1 versus 1. That would have been a kill against Hanzo if Jaina hadn't intervened here. Nicely done. It was honestly, it was the only move that that Thrall could make there. I don't think that he had any chance of getting out of harm's way. There was just no chance for him. The next few shots would have taken him down, and that was definitely the smart move by him to at least try and trade for a 1v1. If he had Ancestral Wrath up at this point, that would have been a kill. But apparently was still on cooldown, so he couldn't use it. Now we still have, like, I mean, look at both of them. Like, the keep at the top and the keep at the bottom are both so low. But as long as they are not down, there's no problem. Level 16 talents, that gives us now also the light well. Currently taking here a few more heals. And also cooldown reduction now, finally. Khaldor still sitting on the position up to the top lane, backhold. Mirroring all of this. I can't really do anything out of it, but still. So, down to the bottom of the map. Camp taken, but 10 seconds until the immortal comes on. We have 9 kills against 9 at this point, and you look at experience and it's dead even. It's actually kind of crazy. Experience being so even, considering how, at least from a structural perspective, this game has gone so far. Again, the attack over to the right. Maybe this time a chance for them to make a bit of a play here. Alright, there's a quick race, and it looks like the blue team once more is going to get a slight lead over their opponent. And actually, it is a slight lead, but only a tiny one. It's going to come down to a fight. It's going to come down to a fight for sure, and by now we're having also the epicenter and the numbing blast, so there's definitely more control now from Divine Vendetta that they could use to get the kills. Double camp at the bot lane, that's a problem. That is a big problem, actually. Honestly, at this point, the blue team should try and at least get some pressure in, but the bot lane is going to take the keep. If nobody rotates down, or with nobody I mean they have to at least rotate 2 heroes in, then they are going to take the keep. They're actually playing for time here, and they are starting to poke, but bot lane, yep, the keep is going to fall here. Light bomb again, and the damage against Ana. X-Strike to follow it up. They can't kill Martin though. Martin is still alive, but Backhold is on the chase, tries to get the kill here, as the rest of the fight is still ongoing up to the top. Ana is down, the keep at the bot lane has now fallen too, and they're going for Smaragd, and that's going to be the end of Jaina. Nubarak is already down, and so is Arthur's. Tyrael falls, but they get the kill against Jaina, and this should honestly be a game. I don't think they're even going to waste any time with that immortal. They can just go straight up for the core. I mean, just look at this. As a double camp, there's catapults, the shields are already gone. Hansel the only survivor for the time being. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a victory for Wind and Rain in game number 1 of this series at Division S. Nicely done by them. And Anduin sitting at 100% win ratio, getting hard carried here by his team, that little crybaby. GG, and well played. Game number 2, boys and girls. Wind and Rain is in the lead, and we are on Towers of Doom now. And, well, we have Anduin in the game again. 100% win rate, so he gets picked immediately. Khaldor on the hero, Skok on Maiev, Maka on Liming, Backhold on Garrosh, and what? Max Passion on Murky. Alright, the frog is in the game. On the right side of the map, we're currently having Divine Vendetta with Death Knight on Dehaka. Martin on Tyrande, Smaragd on Junkrat, Born on Anubarak, and Slake on Jaina. Alrighty, let's see how it goes. Same build so far. The bold strategy for Anduin. Shave that head, baby. Shave it. And on the other side, we're having a Murky with the fisheye. Alright, I'm definitely gonna have a closer look at Murky and see how this is gonna pan out for them. That was not the pick that I expected in this game. But yeah, let's see how this is going. Again, when you look over to what Divine Vendetta is running, they have at least a similar approach from the idea of what they're playing here. They are playing again the Anubarak and Jaina setup. Now this time without Ana for the nano boost, but they have the additional stun follow-up after the engage from the bug, with a good stun from Tyrande and that Hunter's Mark. It was a pretty neat game in the early stages on game number 1 for Wind and Rain. Let's see if they can pull that off again here. Murky currently sitting topside and doing his thing. And yeah, and with his things, I mean, he murks, he dies, and he murks again. Death Knight missing the tongue on the other hand. Well. Okay, so there's a little bit of a... I'm actually just picking up on this right now. If that was already the case in game number 1, then my sincere apologies, but is it me or do we have a role swap coming here? I feel a little bit bad, honestly. I didn't really pay attention enough in game number 1 to catch that, but yeah, definitely usually on the main tank. In this case, we have Born and him switching. Yeah, in they go, and woo! Maiev is down quickly. Can they get another kill? Khaldor here with a save, as Backhold is a bit far out, but Anduin Anduin is good as Anduin could be French. He's extremely good at running away, and he is so good at running away that he is even able to help someone else run away. So yeah, if he gets a skin with like a baguette and a glass of wine, then we all know what's going on there. At this point, we have actually a Nuburak barely getting out of this one. Whew. That was a bit close, my friend. A bit too close for comfort. Level 4 earlier, and look at that pressure here from Divine Vendetta. They're starting to make the plays. Yep, there went another throw, another stun, and talking stuns. Tyrande sitting right there doing her thing as well. Same build for Anduin, at least up to this point. The enough fire coming in on level 4. Murky slimes away with a slime time. Well, this is going to try to. Rotations around. Smaragd already sitting there. Right up here to the middle. Next Passion starting to move in. I love the skin, by the way. So Murkalot is one of the best. You can always go for the Murky Bunny. But yeah. I really don't play Murky. I don't like to have a Murky on my team or against me. But I have to admit that some of the skins for Murky are absolutely fantastic. Like, some of those skins are great. Now, I gotta say that I personally think that he screwed up a little bit when he went for his mount, because we all know that, generally speaking, the money pick is the best mount in the game. That is undeniable. That's a scientific fact that has been proven and it is an observable result that can be recreated over and over again. Money pick is just the best mount. And Murky holding onto the money pick while it runs away, priceless. Absolutely priceless. So we have the exchange in altars here in the first objective phase in the triple altar, and obviously the fight for the bottom of the map is already starting up. Murky still the one rotating. Marker needs to be careful. In comes the blizzard and the stun. There's a few grenades and ooh, Berkult throwing a Nuburak straight onto Marker. That was a close call for a moment. The altar gets channeled though by Divine Vendetta, as they have 36 against 32 points now on the core. Level 7 is obviously the next milestone for the teams here. And thanks to Murky staying in the mid lane, we're having right now a tiny but significant lead for the blue team. There's a setup against Berkult, Indomitable being used. Born gets tethered, the rest too gets a triple tether. Skork wants to go for Slake. Jaina is running and should eventually fall here. Well, Maiev on the other hand doesn't look too healthy either. Don't tell me! Slake gets out. Yeah, with Junkrat throwing the grenades out, things started to become a little bit dicey for Maiev, so she couldn't really stay in too much longer. Oh! Marker, you little bastard. Comes in from the side, and just as Junkrat thought he was safe, lands the full combo and murders him. Alright. That was not bad. It was actually pretty good. That was a cool one. Not for Junkrat, but hey. The Binding Heal on level 7 for Anduin, and Murky going from full slime here with a Black Lagoon, increasing the slime radius even more, so a decent synergy here with the slime time on level 4. Born a bit low, they're going for him again, and this time the bug is down, but Maiev falls once more. Second kill actually against Maiev here. Trying to make the play for Martin, and yep, no chance. Li Ming with the reset, and that's another quick kill. Good job by Marker. Same time, the double altar has been announced on the top of the map. I think it's decent lead for Wind and Rain here. But yeah, with the double altar up, should be an even exchange in altars for now. Unless we're gonna see a kill here. Slake is about to fall. Marker gets away and survives. They could theoretically try and make the play for both. But I still doubt it a bit. It's always tricky and risky to really make that happen. So that's normally the phase where everybody just agrees, yeah, you take yours, we take ours, and we're gonna take it from there. So, even exchange, couple of pumpkins rushing through the bottom at the same time. Skok came in a bit too late to defend it completely. The build on Nuburak was slightly adjusted, by the way. So we're currently having, on level 4 at least, Under King not claimed, but instead the Bed of Barbs for the additional slows on his end. A bit more control over those areas here. Ooh, Death Knight with a quick B-step and the spray. Yeah, look at him. Death Knight with a little bit of a dancing theme here. It's going full dirty dancing up here at the top lane against his opponent. Freezing the lane a little bit, soaking some of the damage, but dodging out against Berkult. That's a happy dinosaur, and that was a nice track. That tongue nicely connected. Well done, but not even the frog goes down. Oh, come on, my god. Is that a frog in a bubble? Nearly killed my voice with this one. Yeah, I tried and I failed hard. I admit it. Okay, so 10 is already on the board now, and Divine Vendetta is getting it as well, but is there maybe a chance to capitalize on the earlier one? Doesn't seem like it. Nah. Heals come out from Khaldor as he's sitting here. Once again, he goes, actually, this time, yeah, light bomb again. No Genji setup on the other hand. That was one of the cool combos in the last game on Battlefield of Eternity. Light bomb together with that. Already the tether. Here comes the combo from Mark on the side. Riptide goes in, hits 3. Everybody low. Murky is down. And the grenades. The kill. No, backward. Bullseye. There comes the grenade. After the kill against Murky, we're seeing Garrosh also fall. And Murky is starting to move in again from the top. We're having, again, by the way, the setup here with Locust Swarm. So, as I said before, pretty much disintegrate on Li Ming is taking the Cocoon down very quickly. And normally teams still go Cocoon because they feel it offers them enough value. And it seems that at least Born has decided that whenever he is in that situation where Li Ming on the other side goes for disintegrate, he will just switch his ult because he doesn't feel he gets any value out of the disintegrate and instead heads into the Locust Swarm. Hasn't really worked out in game number 1, but maybe it works out in game number 2. I mean, at this point, they get another double altar thanks to the kills they just got. And with that, we're having now 20 against 32. And Murky, by the way, was down for the entire duration. Well, he lost his egg and therefore has completely fallen. Went Octograb, by the way, in case you haven't caught on that. So I'm not going to see those mini Murlocs marching through. 5 stacks on his level 4. Same amount that Tyrande has, coincidentally. But yeah, looking at the damage output. Jaina sitting at a decent amount of siege damage. Murky as well. Here comes the attack once again, and Murky is down. Murky is dead. Am I crazy? Didn't Murky die completely? I thought he lost the egg. I am apparently wrong. He died 0.75 times. So apparently I was mistaken, and he did a wreck there. Ooh, yeah. That hit hurts. No, I'm not mistaken. I'm crazy. Again, I'm not really casting too many Murky games. My mistake. Backhold goes down. And what's happening here? Divine Vendetta is crushing them. They had 5 kills against... Whew, they get another kill against Maiev. That's kill 3 against Maiev. Look at the insane pressure down at the bottom of the map right now. Starting to take this bell tower here. Murky is trying to make that a trade topside, but Death Knight is now ready. And is first of all soaking the XP. Max Passion might get this. I highly doubt it. But he's going to get it low. But that should still be 5 points off the core of their opponent. So yeah, having them already starting to move in. Right side, Max Passion. Well, even a chance that he cancels that. Yeah, cancels already and says like, ooh, I'm going to proxy the wave here. What's he going to do? Kill me? Good luck with that. Egg is in the base. Yeah, so for the time being, it's 6 kills against 4. 13 versus 13. Bell tower at the bot lane is easily going to be taken. Murky over here. Ooh, that's the Octograb, alright. Don't think that he's going to be able to get the kill. Nah. But Snake has to waste some time on this. So Murky goes down, bot side. That should be an interrupt, and indeed it is. Everybody else is starting to rotate in now. That would be 5 points off the core if Wind and Rain loses it here. So yeah, they're starting to go in again. Ooh, that was a big spike. Holy hell. Even the game is confused. Murky, Anduin, Heroes of the Storm goes like, what the hell is happening here? That's 5 shots fired. The Alder got channeled, and that's now 15 points against 32. A big Riptire. Backhold. Gets saved from Anduin for a moment, but Born survives. Oh my god, in Nubarak. He survives, and we have Murky going down. Yep, Maiev at this point nearly dead. Everybody on the side of Wind and Rain is just absolutely suffering right now. As another double kill as Anduin and Garrosh both fall. Honestly, they are getting wrecked at this point. I mean, Wind and Rain is having massive problems here. 9 kills against 4 and so much map momentum that we're now seeing from Divine Vendetta. It's honestly a bit crazy. I mean, obviously, this top bell tower should eventually end up in the hands of Wind and Rain simply by Murky doing his thing. But if you're so far behind right now in points on the core, that is spelling trouble, and quite a bit of that. So now they're even going for the boss, and there's very little chance that the rotation is fast enough to contest it. That's another 4 points taken away. Now, of course, it comes at a cost. You're giving up the bottom bell tower pretty much to your opponent. But that's going to be 11 points on the core against 32. That is pretty much 3 times the amount that they have. Interestingly enough, they did not fully commit to this. They're actually hoping to maybe even get a kill against Junkrat here, but no. Have to go for it now. Should still be able to pull it off, though. I mean, if they commit... The defense is actually there. Maka is already eating quite a bit of damage to those 2 hits. Yeah, Bell Tower is going to get converted, but the fight is still being forced. The Haka isn't there yet, but he could always burrow down to the bot lane. Might still do that. Backhold already moving out. In comes the slow, though. And Backhold is eating quite the damage here, thanks to the water elemental slowing him down even further. But now we're talking triple altar. Theoretically, that could be the end of the game. It's highly unlikely that they're going to get all 3, but even if they only grab 2, that would put Wind and Rain down to 3 points. And there's 1, there's 2, and yeah, at least it should be 2. I mean, Max Passion is still murking up the top right. In experience, we now also have the talent advantage. There's the exchange, 1 versus 1, single digits now for Wind and Rain. In the second game, there comes the attempt to get the kill with the Octo Grab, but nope. The Drak, on the other hand, misses too. Slay comes in, Murky already down. That's the that's the cage on the ground. And they're trying to make the play with the Reptile again, and Backhold is isolated. Goes down, and that should be at least the altar. If they can get more. Maka at this point gets attacked by Smaragd, and very unlikely that he gets out of this one, especially with Martin now moving in too. And Maka is still able to escape. You gotta be kidding me. So they can't get the kill, but they get the altar, and that's another 4 points off the core of Wind and Rain. That's going to put them down to 3. Murky dies again. There's a big spray on the map here at the same time. And now, of course, the only question, can they get the remaining 3? Oh boy. Murky doesn't have the egg anymore, and we all know what that means. Once that's the case, it's just all eyes on Murky. I mean, let's face it, we love to kill a Murky that has no egg anymore. It's the best thing in the entire game. Maybe not quite, but it's roughly on the same level as taking down Abathur. They're going for the battle again. 10 kills against 4. Level 16 on both ends. Again, same build. Light well taken on level 16 from Gal Gulnar. They're getting the throw in. Oh! Is this the comeback? Ice block. Slake goes down. All of a sudden, momentum here for Divine Vendetta. Top side, Death Knight. Still trying to push this one out. Is that maybe the moment when they can turn things around? We have 100 stacks for Junkrat on his level 4. We're completed on the baseline for Jaina, but even the ice block didn't help her here. Damage output, by the way. 100,000 siege damage for Murky. That's where he currently excels the most. In terms of hero damage, not so much. 12,000 for him. Not enough slime action. We're having 40,000 from Junkrat, 36 from Liming. And the only hero that hasn't died in the entire game is Death Knight, by the way. Yeah, the Haka still hasn't fallen here. And is currently trying to soak those side lanes. It's a 5 versus 5 on the map again in another 5 seconds. And that's exactly enough time for the altars to spawn and the heroes to take position. So we're gonna see that big battle. And this is where the game could theoretically end. Boss, by the way, is up in another minute and 40. So then that is going to become also a big point of contention, of course. At this point they're starting to try and move in once more down to the bottom here. Smaragd is moving in. Jaina's trying to go for it. Murky's rotating in. So is at the same time also the Haka from the top as he's attempting to make the play here. There's the taunt. And the Buck is down. Murky is dead too. But we have the Haka on Maka. If they can get that kill, that would be great. But even if only Maiev falls, that would be a great start for them. And Maiev gets saved, at least for the time being. Martin is trying to get the kill regardless, but can't. He himself now in trouble. Murky down. In comes the throw, and that's Tyrande dead. And all of a sudden, Wind and Rain getting the value, but Liming falls. Junkrat is immediately getting punished for the audacity to take Maka down. Death Knight also exploding. And now Slake on the run. Nicely done here by Wind and Rain, and they're starting to come back into that series. Slake still moving out. They're looking for him everywhere. Can't find him though. But the shots are fired. 4 more points off the core. Is that the start of the comeback? 24 points against 3. And again, camps are taken, and now you can play with the momentum. You get the pumpkins, you get those bell towers, you push them hard, and you're making sure that you will constantly be ahead in experience, in talents. With the additional macro on the map and those bell towers, they can definitely build up a position where they might be able to start this comeback after all. 3 points against 24 this moment in time, and the bell tower is converted. Now again, keep in mind, with only 3 points on the core, even the bell tower conversion means that a single altar claimed by Divine Vendetta is going to end this game in the hands of their team. And obviously they want to force the third game on an even footing. Boss is already on the map. Nice move by Wind and Rain. Not only that they themselves can take it, but they're also removing it as another strategic option for Divine Vendetta on the map. So it's going to be a more linear battle through those altars and try and reclaim it. That's the reason why they also are absolutely willing to give up the bot lane. That bot lane doesn't really do a whole lot for them, except for getting more shots in against Divine Vendetta. But they can't save their own core, and Altar will still end them. And taking the boss off the map is limiting the options of their opponent quite nicely. So now that both are on 20, it's a bit of a different story. That's why we have the Glyph of Faith taken. So it gets a second charge here. Oh, bad position for the egg. Alright, bad position for that. More Murky has to be cautious now. But we're also seeing at the same time the big Tuna Kahuna for the Merc Master. And a single altar on the map. All you have to do now is channel this one, Yakuchi. As the attack from Wind and Rain, they have to push in. They need to interrupt. Smaragd with a channel, and he gets it. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the channel. Barely interrupted. Ice block on the left side. Berkult low. Riptire comes in. They're still poking. Khaldor goes down. Anduin is dead. Garrosh is dead. So are Murky and Maiev, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game Divine Vendetta winning game number 1 in the best of 5 series as they take it here with 19 points to 0. GG and well played as we are heading into game 3 of the best of 5. Game number 3, ladies. Wind and Rain against Divine Vendetta. And it is a tie. It is a tie. At least up to for the time being. It's a best of 5. Galnagulna on the left for the blue team. We have Malfurion played by him, by Khaldor on Tyrael. We see Skok on Maiev, Max Passion on Leoric, and Make on Mephisto. On the right side of the map, Death Knight on ETC for Divine Vendetta, Born on Nubarak. So again, the side lane on offlaner here, slightly inverted. Martin on Tyrande, Smaragd on Sylvanas, and Slake on Falstad. They play with the bird. The bird is in the game. The German eagle, right there. Or the American bald eagle. I don't know. We're in Europe, so it's a German eagle. There's the money pick, by the way. I love it. We have beef, we have pork, and we have chicken in the same game. It's fantastic. It's honestly fantastic. I mean, it's a full meal right there. God, I'm hungry already. Alright. We only need Malfurion. We have him, so he can lay down the lawn here. And maybe in the little garden of his, we're going to get some salad. Guys, this is fantastic. I'm getting hungry. But yeah, Infernal Shrines, the map, and the Sylvanas factor is obviously something to consider. We don't see the Unfurling Shadows, by the way, on level 1, so there's not going to be any stacking. Instead, we're seeing the might of the Banshee Queen, at least for the time being. Skull Missile build for Make. Kind of insane that he gets his Mephisto, actually. Teams these days are banning out that hero against Wind and Rain every single time, it feels, just because they don't want to deal with Make's Mephisto, as we are seeing here right now. Has not been done, on the other hand. Because, yeah, for some reason, they're not afraid of Make. Let's see if that is, in this case, warranted. That confidence that they can deal with Mephisto. Or if Make is going to show them who's boss here. On the aspect of hatred. And will force the ban in the next games. And Nubarak, again, with the stacking here. These little spikes today. I actually don't know what's going on with that. It's a little bit weird. A bit monka, to be honest with you. Heroes. The game never ceases to amaze me. We have always a couple of glitches with that thing, don't we? But, again, this is all commentated from replays right now, so it's not that it's affecting the players in any way. I mean, normally the games are obviously all commentated live, but in this particular case, a bit of a different story. I explained it previously. Couldn't cast the match live, so instead we're having our setup here for YouTube. It's actually pretty important for me this season to make sure that all of the games are available on the channel, just so that everybody is able to watch and see how exactly everything unfolds here, and can also go back see how, for example, a previous series ended. And especially this first Division S season is insane. I mean, we had so many... We had like multiple, just this week, just in the last 7 days, we had multiple reverse sweeps. We had some absolute insane 5-mappers. The quality of games that we're getting right now might not quite be on the same level as we had in the prime time of HGC, but boy are there some exciting games in that setup. Yeah, Division S has been an absolute blast so far. Love it. Level 4 talents are in, and the wingman aspect of the Falstad build is currently being continued with the lightning rod on level 4. We're also having still a bit of a poke here down at the bottom as Max Passion and Berghold are trying to catch some XP. Global aspect of the game with Falstad is obviously now getting activated since he can stay here, get the additional wave and then fly up topside. Depends a little bit on how Leo moves with that. Leo shows bot lane already, so he knows what's up. If he flies top, he can force the 5 versus 4. But for the time being, we're most likely going to see them in a bit of a normal setup around the top shrine in a 4 versus 4 and keeping the bird on the lane. Obviously, for Falstad, level 7 would be great now too. Having the boomerang allows you to get that wave clear out so much faster. And up to the top, Wind and Rain doing a fantastic job around the first Punisher. Haven't claimed it yet, but 20 stacks against 7. Yeah, someone is winning that heavily. Marke sitting there, and of course Skork on Maiev now also getting the additional AoE out. They're looking good. Looking really good here. Now with Leo even moving in, Falstad still in the mid lane. I don't think there's a doubt who's going to win Punisher number 1 in this game. There's a level 7 and immediately Divine Vendetta backs off and just realizes they don't have a chance there. Not with Leo coming in, turning into a 5 versus 4, and on top of that the extra talent. Ain't happening. Yep, and that's going to be Punisher number 1. Also, most of the XP here in the middle still caught by Max Passion as he makes the rotation in. There's the level 7 talent now on the other side. Carapace focus by the Beetle, by the Bug, going into the Shed Exoskeleton for the movement speed. And the Chitinous plating here. And even for the side lane ETC, we don't see Echo Paddle. We have again a Pinball Wizard. There's the Tether, trying to go for the hit. The wall is obviously already destroyed. Nice! That Punisher wants a piece of beef. Goes straight for ETC here, but they get Tyrande instead as she's trying to escape. And with the wave pushing in, oh my god, they're actually getting Sylvanas too. But they should try and focus down the fort here, to be honest with you. With that minion wave just pushing in, they definitely have a very, very good shot of taking that down before the minions are gone. They're burning down another wave too, and yep, that's structure number 1 eliminated in the game. Nicely done, nicely done. So yeah, Max Passion currently sitting here in the middle, just escorting this one through too. And that early game is pretty bananas for Wind and Rain. 2 kills against 0, level ahead, taking down the top fort, stealing the camp away. I mean, you name it, they have it. They just get everything here. And in terms of the damage output, they're having currently 8,000. I mean, look at the bird, by the way. How did Falstad end up with that much damage? Must have gotten quite a few hits in with the lightning rod against Max Passion, to be honest with you. But yeah, when it comes to the actual teamfight damage and the heroes that were involved in the battle, that's where Mephisto currently reigns supreme with the 8,800. And now we're having again heroic abilities picked. There's the disc actually. Containment disc for Maiev, no cage this time. They have also the Entomb. And Mephisto in this game is playing the Durance of Hate on level 10. Okay, so ETC has now taken topside, and obviously they're still a level behind, but the idea with ETC is likely going to be that stage dive will mirror the global role of Falstad. Tether in again, down at the bottom of the map, 10 stacks on a Nubarak. Okay, mid lane, Sylvanas is pushing that out, but they're still half level away, and that's an opportunity to either force a fight here with level 10 abilities. Where's the Tether? Ooh, there's the ult, the disc, just to get the kill. Alright, that's an easy one right there. Realized they wouldn't be able to get the kill without that, so they have to commit to the cooldown, but that is absolutely worth it, and now they might even be able to get a bit more pressure onto the bottom fort itself. 10 any moment now for Divine Vendetta. If ETC goes stage dive, you have to be a bit more careful as he doesn't jump backside, but they are just absolutely destroying this game. Yep, and there we have Mighty Gust taking down the fountain at the bot lane. That's going to be important, especially with the next Punisher, the next shrine spawning at the bottom of the map. A little bit of a battle up here at the top with Max Passion and Death Knight. And with Death Knight actually not choosing a talent, it's starting to become pretty obvious what that's going to be. If you hold it back for this long, chances are really good that you're going to go into stage dive. Then again, there are not really that many interrupts, if you think about it. Don't get me wrong, there's a few. But there's not really a whole lot against the stage dive, so I would actually... sorry, against the mosh pit. So I would actually be very, 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 very tempted to go mosh pit and just let the bird be a bird. Fly around there. Ah, they have the bird! I'm insane, honestly. What am I talking about? Jesus. If I didn't know that I'm sober, I'd say I'm drunk, because, well, the bird is on the other side. They have the bird and ETC. Why the fuck would you go into stage dive? Khaldor, please, get your shit together. This is embarrassing. There we have the mosh pit. Makes a lot more sense right now. Unbelievable. Honestly, when that guy lost his hair, he lost his wits as well. That's what's going on right here. I always knew you couldn't trust the Germans. They're lying to you all the time. The bird and the beef on the same team. Of course he goes into mosh pit. Duh! And there it is. Well, not quite. They're trying to go for it, but the kill against Leo comes in a little bit earlier. Durance of Fate comes through. Where's ETC? Where's the slide? Where's my mosh pit? Get the party going, baby. There we go. Gets one, and that should be a kill. Mephisto. Oh my god, you can't even kill him. What? Death Knight goes in for the mosh pit and they can't get the kill here at all. Instead, even with a kill against Wind and Rain, they're starting to win it. Leo is back to business. Leo is back, and during all of this, Tyrael didn't even say, you know what, I'm not gonna go for that Sanctification. Screw that. That's a cooldown. Don't want to burn it. It's precious. Just don't throw that out there. Keep it to yourself a little bit, and they're winning it. They're just winning it. In come the Kazuas in the middle, pressure on the fort. One of the bot lane has already taken damage. Skork is saying, you know what, I'm just going straight for the camp here. That's a win for us anyways on the protector side. Slake is moving down, but things are rough. Ah, Disc actually missing. That's another 50-second cooldown that was just annihilated. Alright. But yeah, pushing down to the bottom of the map now, taking that fort down before the Punisher is even part of the equation. 13 in their hands too, obviously. Skull missile stacks on level 1 for Mephisto at 24, and he goes straight into the Abhorred Skull on level 13 now as well. A little bit more of a power output, power. Damage, 21,000. And here comes Leo through the mid lane, trying to deliver the fort, but obviously they're hoping for even more here. Opening the wall at least. But in an ideal world, if they can make them play with Leo and a good Entomb, they might be able to get a little bit more out of this one. Already, Death Knight sitting there. Is the Entomb coming out? No. He slides out, but that's a double wave now. That's a camp too, but they're not committing to it. The bird is at the top lane. Everybody else is still sitting here bot side, but they're not going to go for the keep just yet. Instead, they're moving into the mid lane, taking the fort down. It was severely damaged through that minion wave that I mentioned earlier, but not destroyed yet. Alright, there we go. Full lightning focus, by the way, from Falstad. No boomerang on level 7, didn't go into any adjustments, just lightning rod, lightning rod, lightning rod the entire time. We've seen that in the past a few times. 3 kills against 3, as we're seeing Divine Vendetta getting a kill too, taking down Maiev again. There's the cocoon now. Alright, and there we have it. That could be the lockdown. Oh, that slide came a little bit early, if you ask me. Trying to make the play right there. Mosh pit again. Can they take Mephisto down? Not with the Sanctification in play. That fight isn't quite over yet. Gulnar falls, and the rest of the team is not looking too hot either. Mephisto is down, and that stun hits Tyrael straight in the face. They're all on the run, and Born is trying to lock them down even further for the kill. Max Passion sacrifices himself for Backhold. Well, that might not have worked. Nope. All of them are down. It was a 5-man wipe. Also, again highlighting that Born actually this time went into Cocoon and not into the Carrion Swarm. And as I said in game number 2, the reason is that there is no Li Ming. So against this integrate, he apparently made the choice to go into Cocoon now, but as long as there's no Li Ming on the other side, he can safely go into Cocoon and make the plays. Yeah, so Carrion Swarm only if there's a Li Ming on the other side, with the talent, obviously. Which could actually, in future games of them, lead us into that little chicken game where both of the teams hit level 10 at the same time, and you're not making a choice with your own heroic until your opponent has committed to something. If a Li Ming, for example, goes into the wave of force, then Cocoon still gets the full value. So, yeah. 18 stacks on Nubarak as we're talking about him, so he's obviously trying to get those additional globes so that he gets the extra 500 HP. It's gonna make his life a lot easier, yeah? In terms of damage output, just to have a quick look at that again, we're actually seeing 33,000 for Falstad. Pretty decent damage with that build here. Good damage output with this. There's also the level 16 talents, and with that we're having Epicenter for Nubarak. That in itself is already great. We're seeing the Afterburner. Bit more speed for the reposition too. And the Royal Focus, obviously. Alright. Slake is already sliding down to the bot lane. Again, that global can be the linchpin in the later stages. They have lost every single fort on the map. That's the big problem for Divine Vendetta, and they haven't taken down a single fort of their opponent yet either. So, structurally speaking, they are far behind, and it's really starting to reflect in the experience lead for Wind and Rain as well. Death Knight is trying to get these slides out. A little bit like shadow boxing. He doesn't hit the power slide, he still uses the Vault of the Wardens here. There's no contact sports from both of them at this point. The funny thing with this is that we're actually seeing more kills now for Divine Vendetta. They have 7 kills against 3, thanks to that team wipe that we saw before. Which is kind of interesting if you consider who's ahead in this game. Catapults are pushing every single lane right now. It might not be that massive push you're looking for by taking down keeps, but it's still pretty decent here. Slake is already sitting at the side now, flew in from the bot lane. Top lane gets pressured, as we see one additional Shaman camp there. In comes the fight. 24 stacks, by the way, against 5. The only chance for Divine Vendetta to take this one is by winning the team fight. Disc in the back line already. Here comes the push. Already using... That's a fantastic ult for Mephisto, actually. Death Knight comes in again. Mosh pit against 3. And Maiev is already down. Wind and Rain is starting to have trouble here with Maiev already gone. It looks like we might see another kill, but in comes the Sanctification from Tyrael. Bakul with a nice play there, and they're still dancing around. They're down to hero, but it doesn't really matter. Martin is in trouble, and that might be the end of Tyrande. Bakul goes in, wants the kill, and they get the kill. But Leo is down, and now Tyrael has fallen too. Oh, God, Malfury, and he dies. Marke is on the run right now, tries to at least get a counter kill. He knows he's going to fall eventually, but at least they get that Punisher. And they get the value at the top lane. Down goes Marke in another 5-man team wipe, and top lane in trouble. Yep, that catapult, that keep is going to fall. Last minion goes down, goodbye top keep. And despite the fact that they just lost every single hero in the lineup, they are now still farther and farther ahead. Divine Vendetta is getting the kills. Wind and Rain is winning the games. It's dicey. It's honestly a bit tricky right now. I mean, again, Divine Vendetta is doing well when it comes to the team fights. But as long as that little macro play continues, they're gonna have trouble. The interesting part about this is that it's actually the Falstad team that loses the structures to those pushes during the objective. That's honestly the interesting part. Falstad should have maybe rotated instead of bot lane, top lane, deal with the camp and then fly in after. But yeah. So with that, we're now having the move straight through the middle here again. Cocoon is already out. And they're starting to go for another kill against Tyrael, or they're at least trying to. Falstad comes in. And yes, that's a quick one. Tyrael is dead, taken down immediately. Nicely done. Alright, in comes Death Knight. Starting to make the play for Marke. There comes the slow. But they can't get the kill just yet. They are having experience right now. 13 against 4, but catapults everywhere. And Falstad has a full-time job at this point. He's like, boys, I didn't sign up for this shit. I want to fly around, I want to do things, I want to kill people. I don't want to babysit those keeps the entire game. Like, I want to participate in the game too. I have to work on my hero damage. Look at me, I'm at 46,000. I can take the top number in the game. And his team is just saying, shut the fuck up, dude. Just go onto, you're just an oversized parrot. Make your move, go onto the lanes and deal with the minions. You're playing PvE this game. Leave the PvP to us, we're better at this. Level 20 talents are nearly ready for Divine Vendetta, but they shouldn't be able to capitalize on it too much, considering that the objective hasn't been announced yet and only half a level is missing for Wind and Rain to get their own. So, yep, with that we're having Rewind. 2 Bolts of the Storm actually. Sylvanas and ETC. Falstad with the Wind Tunnel. I was thinking he might actually go into Epic Mount. I mean, both of the talents are totally viable, and we see both of them picked these days too. But with the Epic Mount, you can of course jump around the map a bit quicker when you feel you're under pressure here. Next shrine is topside. That's another big problem for Divine Vendetta, because it's the lane where they don't have a keep any longer. And now the bird's starting to move in too. 11 stacks for Tyrande, by the way. We'll move down here at the bottom. 20 versus 20 gives us now the buried alive. And guess who's getting buried alive first? It's the bug. Nuburak is down. Yeah, it's a bug, not a feature. He gets taken down. There's the wind tunnel. The rest of the team is still there. Here comes the ult from Mephisto, and that should be a kill. Yeah, Martin, very much so alone here. And Malfurion wants to get the kill together with Maiev. They get this one. Backhold sitting there. 10 seconds for the objective, by the way. Smaragd gets out. Close call. But are they going to go for the keep? It seems like it, right? Looks like they're going for it. Yep, the minion wave is already moving in, and here comes Broccoli. So a quick root on the ground, spawns Broccoli, soaks up a couple of the shots from the keep itself, and boys, they are looking for core. Are they? They're literally going for the core here. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have just moved past the keep, to be honest with you. They already took the keep down top side, so they could have tried. But yeah, they're trying to burn that down. They want the 2-1 lead right now in this best of 5. And they're starting to move in. The shields are gone. The core is falling. 9 seconds until the Nuburak is back, but I'm not quite sure if they have those 9 seconds. Buried Alive is out again, and Smaragd is suffering. Skok about to fall, but that core is down to 30. ETC with the power slide and the mosh pit. But the core goes down to 10. The wind tunnel, and it doesn't matter. It's game as Wind and Rain takes Infernal Shrines, and therefore the lead in the best of 5. They take the 2-1. Game number 4, Wind and Rain against Divine Vendetta. Infernal Shrines, good one for Wind and Rain here. Towards the end, now we're in the potential last match. Let's see if Divine Vendetta can take it and force the 5th game of Gulnar and his boys are closing it out now. Gulnar on the blue team, on Malfurion, Makahu on Tracer. Alright, that's already a tall order for Divine Vendetta. Skok on Maiev again, Backhold on Johanna, and Max Passion on Illidan. So, on the right side of the map, Death Knight on Dehaka, Martin on Rhaegar, Born on ETC, we have Smaragd on Junkrat, and Slake has decided that it's hammer time and plays the Sergeant. Alrighty, so with this, we're having currently Alterac Pass is our map. Always I don't know, but Alterac Pass is kind of starting to grow on me a little bit. I was very skeptical at first. This is one of the maps I would have loved to see in HGC. Guys, there's a couple of things that I was actually at the end of last year really excited about when we were talking about the next HGC season. Was wondering how those experience changes would really impact the play, how Alterac Pass would impact the pro meta, and also how the new heroes, Mal'Ganis for example, would fare in the league. And well, then other things happened, and yeah, you know the rest of the story. So. No talent taken, by the way, on Junkrat. He's still deciding if he wants to put some English on it, and as it turns out, yes, he does. So we have bot lane, the Slake setup here. If you're going up against Tracer, obviously you want to have, or in an ideal world, you want to have a good auto attacker. So let's go over this real quickly. Why are auto attackers so good against Tracer? For the same reason that you oftentimes see heroes like Thrall being picked against Tracer. You want to have damage output against that hero that Tracer cannot dodge. And you can't dodge an auto attack, and you can't dodge a chain lightning, for example. So any point and click damage is undodgeable, but any kind of skill shot where Tracer can just move around, zip around, blink away is always a bit tricky. So you oftentimes see a Hammer picked against Tracer, you see, I don't know, Jimmy picked against her. Not necessarily a must-have, but definitely something that you will consider whenever you see that. Generally speaking, Hammer obviously can be a nuisance. And this combo is something that you should always keep in mind as well, ETC and Hammer. We've been mentioning the advantages of ETC oftentimes with Vala, but the same applies when you're playing with Sergeant Hammer. Basically with any kind of range hero that needs to be guarded, ETC is great, because if you're not one of those players that just spams his abilities once that they're off cooldown, you can really hold your face melt back. And you can see that from Born. Born is not using any abilities here the entire time. This is the first time when he actually did something. And that's mainly because he knows what his job is. His job is just not to spam out abilities, slide through something, push it away. His job is to create either a kill opportunity for his team or, in this case, protect someone in the backline. And that's what he's doing. So he's just waiting for someone to make an engage onto Hammer. And then he starts to use his ability to protect Hammer, push them away, stun them out. And if you don't do that and you just throw your abilities out whenever, then you're oftentimes going to end up in a situation where Hammer is going to die because, well, you were on cooldown. Hammer dying in this case anyways, and this is Marke with the first kill here. Gets the bomb through in this case. So nicely done by him. And we're having in the middle of the map at this point in time, Wind and Rain. Again, with a little bit of a play through Skog trying to push the match out, but there we have also the objective. So this is basically what everybody is collapsing onto. Bit of a push out through the mid lane as just mentioned, and then collapsing straight back down. Obviously with Smaragd going for the interrupt, it's hard for Garnagul now to get that channel through. Garnagul now is just sitting there, it's just like, can you just leave me alone for just a moment? And finally gets this, so the progress already working for them, but Slake with a channel attempt here. So far he doesn't get it though, they're still trying to interrupt that, but finally it stopped. 18 seconds are still missing. Level 4 talents already on both sides. That's a nice head start. Now with Max Passion at top lane on Illidan, it's likely that we're going to see the Hunt later on. To have that global pressure that you can use here, especially as the Haka is on the other side. 13, oh sorry, level 7 a little bit quicker here. Which gives us now also the Hunter's Onslaught. So with this, we're having also ETC still guarding the point down here as Marke is just running around. Oh, Marke! Nice, nice little attack by him. Yeah, you need to be careful with that guy, honestly. I mean, he is incredibly good at this hero. And that was nearly a kill against Junkrat. I actually think it would have been close. Martin obviously coming in for the heal prevented the worst immediately and made it not even look close, but yeah, that could have been a kill there with a bit more luck. It's only a single kill in the game so far. We are 4.5 minutes in. We're still seeing the protective once more, level 7 talents, hover siege mode. I mean, that thing is pretty much mandatory on Sergeant Hammer. I honestly can't even remember the last time after the last Hammer changes, which was quite a while ago, where I've seen Hammer not take hover siege mode on a higher level. They go for Slake again, but Hammer gets hammered. Down she goes. Tracer again with the kill, by the way, so that's 2 kills against 0 now. Born needs to be very careful now too. Yep, slides out, but they are losing this one again. And this is looking like we are gonna have another quick radar push here coming through. Or cavalry, because I don't see anybody really committing to this and trying to interrupt it. And nope, first objective ends up in the hands of Wind and Rain. The problem that we're actually having here for Divine Vendetta is not only that they just lost the first objective, they're already a level behind. That's before the objective is on the map. Honestly, guys, this is scary because now we could see level 10. I mean, just look how this is panning out. 9.5 as the cavalry appears on the map. It's not even in position yet and they're closing on level 10. We're gonna see a push with the objective plus level 10 abilities. And that is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. The timing could barely be any better. I mean, it is really, really disgusting. Down to the bottom of the map, there's the wave clear already. In the mid lane, there's 3 Illidaners at the top. There's the 10, and they can start to make the plays here. They're already forcing Slake to use a Z and move away, but that should cost them a structure or two, for sure. Maiev is sitting at the bot lane and wants to make the play for Junkrat. And they're actually trying to make the play here. Oh, backhold! The falling flail has been activated here. As Johanna is flailing around here. Max Passion at the top lane is trying to do his thing. And I'm actually impressed that they're holding everything right now. And I'm kind of lying a little bit. Because the 4 at the bottom of the map has already been taken out. There's at least about to fall. So at least they got that. The 4 in the middle is also heavily damaged. So this is working out. Johanna with the ult. And the fun thing with Johanna's ult is honestly if you hit level 20. You owe it to yourself to play quick match at least once, pick Johanna, go for more of a damage build, and then end up on level 20 and picking the upgrade and just jumping around on the battlefield like a bunny on crack. You owe that to yourself. It is absolutely amazing. The cooldown reduction, if you hit, is just so good and you're just jumping around the entire time. It is very, very much fun. I mean, right now, top lane... Okay, Maiev is rotating over. I was just about to say, they need someone on the lane to catch the experience. And that's what they're doing right now. So yeah, with that, we're having still no talent taken for Malfurion. He's waiting. I'm currently questioning a little bit what for. Every single time when one of these heroes is waiting with an ult, I expect the aggressive version to be used. So that could be the Twilight Dream here. They're at least saying like, guys, we might pick it here. And against the Mosh Pit would be another interrupt, of course, as well. So, yeah. Down at the bottom of the map, there we have already Illidan doing his thing against one of the bosses, and so far nobody has really caught up with that. So, yep, they're starting to get the kill here, and that's a boss in their hands. That's nice pressure through the bottom of the map. 2 forts are down. 2 forts are down already, with only 2 kills. 2 kills is all that they needed. 2 forts are down, it's 2 kills, and they are starting to make their play through the bottom of the map. Illidan, at least, that is. And now with that, there will be resources allocated to the bot lane to defend from the perspective of Divine Vendetta. And that could lead to a push at the top side for the last remaining fort from the red team. Objective hasn't been announced yet, so that's not going to be a problem anytime soon. That boss is obviously also an early game boss. Yeah, Isolation, Riptire, Max Passion, still alive. Easy peasy for now. Alright, let's see. Max Passion tries to play around this a little bit more. He still has the hunt. Could try and use that if anything is in range. Maybe into the mid lane. Not quite. ETC on the top has fallen at the same time now, though. No more Mariachi for him, baby. Tracer for the 3rd kill. 3 kills by now. 3 kills for the team, 3 kills by Tracer. One of the reasons why you don't want to give Muck a Tracer. We're now seeing down to the bottom of the map. Oh, sorry, at the top here, another objective spawning up. And with ETC down, they might get the head start again. There's a level 13 talents. As if things weren't already bad enough for Divine Vendetta, they just got a bit worse. Yep, there's the channel, and they're getting the first setup. In comes Slake, and there is the quick tether, but not enough damage against the hammer. Illidan is getting another camp. Max Passion's all over the place, and with a hunt he can still move in. I'm just waiting for the next falling sword here, or falling flail. Johanna just doesn't have a sword. You can tell me whatever you want, but that's a flail. And yeah, they grab it back for the moment. But then again, 2 levels ahead, 3 kills against 0, and they have to play defense. Defense everywhere. And well, this is an American football. This is not something where you can say defense wins championships. That's definitely not the case. Without a good offense, you're screwed in this game. You need to get those kills. Very, very rarely does the team with less kills win. Then again, to be fair, we had one of those instances earlier in this particular series. So, yeah, there's that. But Illidan is already at the bottom of the map. They're using the global way more than we're seeing the Haka being put to some use with global abilities. And Illidan has now started to take the... Or it has taken the camp earlier, is pushing through the middle right now. He himself is sitting at the bottom. And if Ridge taught us anything from the Korean teams, then that you never leave Illidan alone on a structure, because he is going to absolutely shit on you. And that's pretty much what we're seeing right now. So you can kiss that keep goodbye if you don't send anybody back. That's just the reality of things. Illidan is sitting there, and he's just like, okay guys, occupy them a little bit longer. I got this. I got this. I'm gonna be absolutely on board with that. And yeah, again, that keep is already nearly down. You might not be able to get it in the first iteration here. I might have to wait for another wave, but he's already working through that wave. And yeah, up to the top. Wind and Rain is sitting there is like, you know what, we're actually so close to 16 now too. You get the keep, bro, and then we're going for it. There's also the Gnoll is pushing through, and that is going to be that. They're definitely going to get the keep. So 1 keep already taken. Illidan can still move in to help them out in the fight. They don't have 16, but as you can see on the minimap, he's moving in and he can hunt it. And who's he gonna hunt for? That's the question. Objective hasn't been taken yet either. Illidan is still PvEing it down there. Hunt? No, I don't need the hunt. I'm gonna get the wave. Backkult wants to go for the interrupt, alright, gets it for a second, gets it again. Hammer's trying to interrupt him the entire time. Objective might be lost, there's the 16, but if they win the fight, that's a different story, and the fight is already about to start here. Nice, BFG, that was a good one. Here comes the falling flail, and boom, get dunked on, baby. Junkrat down, but so is Illidan, and this Self-Ancestral comes too late. Nice party attempt by Born here, he's a party animal, but that is a 5-man team wipe as the entire team gets brushed off that map. ETC, he just wants to go for the moves. He wants to dance with somebody. But nobody really wants to go and join the Dancing Queen here, so Born is all alone on the dance floor. Feels always a little bit awkward, but you need a lot of confidence to pull that off. 8 kills against 1. And yeah, having right now, as you can already see, 35,000 damage on Macke. Hammer is 42. The problem is it doesn't really do anything for you. Yeah, this down here is pretty much already setting this... I mean, they don't get anything out of that. In case you haven't caught it yet. Every single one of those wagons, of those raiders has been taken out already. And this is a problem. You get the objective and you get nothing. Nothing out of it. Keep in mind, if Wind and Rain wins this one, the series is over. Divine Vendetta, they want to win this one. They want to have map 5. They want to have a chance of taking it. Talking about taking it. Death Knight. Whew. DHK. Yeah, close call, baby. Gets out there, but that's obviously the end of the top fort now as well. Only Illidan died. He's the only one who has fallen once here. And now we're talking about nearly a 3-level lead. It was just like, the hunt, the fuck? They're just going for the boss. Alright, Illidan being a little bit lazy with this one. Saying like, walking, nah, it's overrated. Just hunts topside. I was just like, what the hell is he hunting? Did the DHK come back? And the answer is no, he didn't. Yeah, down here they're just stalling them out. There's also a boss attempt that we're having. Obviously they know that something is happening topside, but this one is not going so well. Yep, there's the leash, and that one is on full HP again. Uh-oh. Divine Vendetta is in trouble. Illidan is going to do the same thing to the top lane now that he already did to the bot lane. He's going to push the top side and he's going to do his thing. Macke is sitting in the middle. Just look at that experience lead. They're 3.5 levels ahead. Even if they take the boss. Let's say they take it. What are they going to do with it? Take the fort down? The horror. Divine Vendetta, they know they're in a bad spot. And there's little that they can do about it right now. They're trying, but again, there's very, very little that they can do. Up to the top lane, Illidan is currently doing his thing here. He's already on the keep itself. One was lost. Tracer goes down on the other hand. That might just be the one move they needed. They're gonna have level 16, but they're still 3.5 levels behind. Still 3.5 levels here. In comes ETC with the proc rock. That's at least completed, but they're already working on the boss itself. That keep is gone, and that means that 2 of the armor shields are already eliminated on the boss. And Illidan is starting to focus on the only lane that's left, the mid lane. They can also start hunting that shit now. I mean, the DHK is still not there. Core is obviously taking a bit of damage on the right side, but that's gonna heal up quickly. But Illidan can definitely interrupt this if he wants to, and he doesn't. Alright, there's the channel. I can't see them let this go, by the way, now. They're gonna fight for that. Especially with how close they are to 20. They're gonna take the camp now. That's more experience. They're gonna try and take a bit more XP mid lane, bot lane. And then we're gonna see that fight. And Divine Vendetta, they need another few hero kills. It would be great for them if they could stagger some kills against the opponent now. But with 20 coming in any moment, Bakul is already in position. Yeah. And Illidan has already pushed through the mid lane, so it means that another big wave is colliding with the mid lane fort. The DHK is forced to react to that. And there they come in again, 16 seconds. Yeah, there's the play against Hammer. And here's the hunt. Hunt against Hammer, Slake about to go down, and in comes Macke for the last hit. Here's the mosh pit. They have to interrupt this, by the way. They have to interrupt this too. Tracer is down, and we have also a kill against, well, Junkrat, but the objective is again claimed by Divine Vendetta, so that's great for them. That prevents the worst, but they're still losing ETC. The fight isn't quite over. The drag connects. Martin, Ancestral. Can he Ancestral himself? No, he cannot. Down goes the dog. And Death Knight is low. He's gonna fall too. I mean, yeah, he still gets the kill against Maiev. Little bit too cocky here, Skog. Little bit too cocky. Alright, they want to go for the middle and take the last remaining keep down. And there's a good chance that they're actually going to make that happen. Yeah, Bakul's already moving in there, just ignoring this here. There's the wave clear. Hammer is sitting at the side, and Max Passion's immediately out. Bakul's like, hey dude, I thought we were going to go for the keep. And he's like, fuck that. There's a Hammer sitting there. I'm not going to go for that. You can do that solo. I'm running around him, dude. I might be blind, but I'm not stupid. Bot lane, that's where we're having also this one. Stalled out pretty quickly. There's still a massive lead. I mean, again... The one thing that people often underestimate is how much of a lead you actually get through just stats advantages when it comes to hit points, damage, and so on, by having a level lead over your opponent. And a 3-level lead is just bonkers. It's crazy. So there's not a single fort that has been taken out yet. One at the top takes a bit of damage, but that's kind of it. Damage output by the... There we go, finally, that's the first one. 63,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. But with 2 keeps gone, you can't lose at any point. Alright. At this point, we're having again Skog pushing through the bot lane. Maiev with pretty decent siege damage too. Not quite on the Illidan level, but still, it's not too bad. Backhold already following that up. They want to force the fight. Here comes the falling flail. Go in, gets the slow. The hunt. And they go for Rhaegar. The self-ancestral is there immediately as Rhaegar pulls his ult. Trying to make the fight happen still. Yeah, there's the BFG right there. But of course, there's also a mosh pit to consider. That's why you don't want to clump up against this. Mosh pit is still a thing. It's a little bit of a weird one. The bosses are already all taken, so this one is up another 40 seconds. But outside of it, there's very little on the map. You already took the side lane keeps. There's very few camps up, and they're focusing on them now. But there's no boss, there's no objective. There's not really a lot to take here. I mean, at this point, it's just a question of what's happening first. Can you force a fight? Or are you going to go for the objective once it gets announced? Before level 20, that would be the ideal time frame for a fight, and they're going to try and get that. But yeah, rotation towards the Haka. Death Knight? Is he going to fall? Nah, okay. Playing it safe here. Good for him. Yeah, but now the boss is up in 3 more seconds, and they're already on the point. And this is really something where it's trouble, because Max Passion pushes out the bot lane. He can't go too deep because these heroes were mainly hiding, so he doesn't know where they are. But with him on the map, they can easily go for the boss, and he put pressure onto the bottom of the map. He goes into hunt range now. Has gone into the Bolt of the Storm, by the way. Boss nearly taken, but this might be even the final fight, and 20 isn't there yet. There comes the hunt into the back line, stayed on the Junkrat. They are on the rat, whereas Death Knight is on the point. Johanna jumps in. The boss is actually stolen. They stole the boss. They get the boss. The question is, can they win the fight? That might be the ticket back into the game for Divine Vendetta. They're looking for the kills right now. Contagion also being used here. Nicely done, actually. They steal the boss away. Look at Divine Vendetta. Sneaky bastards as they are. They take the boss, and they are now in a position where they have level 20. I like that. The problem was that we had too many heroes focused on Junkrat in the back line, and that's why nobody was on the point. ETC could push them out, and now the boss has been stolen, and for, well, Wind and Rain, that's a bit of an annoying play. Obviously, the objective is now up too. Cooldowns are coming back as well. And yeah, it's getting a little bit more dicey. All of a sudden, you're looking... I mean, you still are 2 keys ahead, right? But you're looking at a spot where you're on even talents again. And that's a little bit weird. Okay. So, we have once again the push here in the middle. The Arkas at the bot lane. I would be a little bit pissed, honestly. And there's also a huge opportunity lost, by the way, going for the indestructible on Johanna here. I'm slightly disappointed. If you go Falling Sword, you want to go for the 20. There's a big one at the top lane as well, by the way. The Haka has to deal with 2 lanes now. And there they're channeling it again. Marker. That's quite a bit of damage against him. Illidan in the little fight against Death Knight. Yeah, and Max Passion knows that this is a winning fight for him. Already the Essence getting popped. Dragged has again missed. Actually, in this case, he connects it. Yeah, but Max Passion can easily jump out here. Ooh! That doesn't do too much for him, so he uses the Contagion here. And it even connects, but he can still jump away from this one. Alright, we're starting to move in again against Hammer. Illidan can hunt in. The Haka needs to go for the burrow, does exactly that. Illidan comes in, Hammer, Ancestral, nice! But the Falling Sword comes from Johanna once more. Good condemn. Skog is low, and he is dead. Mosh Pit is out too, but we have both of the damage dealers gone, and the dog is dead as well. The kill against the Haka. Now only ETC is still surviving here, not for much longer. It's a full team wipe. They're taking all of them down, and the keep in the mid lane has now fallen. That boss doesn't have a single armor shield left anymore, and that is definitely going to be game. Objective or no objective, that doesn't matter anymore at this point. Illidan is already on it. All the lanes are starting to push in aggressively, and the rest of the team in blue is starting to make their way over to the boss to finish what they started. It's a 3-1 victory in the best of 5 here in Division S for Wind and Rain as they take down Divine Vendetta. Nicely done here. The Illidan plays, the Tracer in particular for Marker have beautifully worked out, and not even Hammer could stop that. It is game. Alterac Pass ends in favor of Wind and Rain, giving them the 3rd win in this best of 5 series. GG and well played.